book of Judges describes a time period between the conquest after the death of Joshua and before the rise of the monarchy. And it describes it as a time of great spiritual confusion, moral depravity, and political fragmentation. And you know, it tells the stories, or at least the bulk of it tells the stories of the judges, Othniel, Ehud, Deborah, Jephthah, Samson, Gideon, and it tells the story in a very structured and cyclical fashion, where you have an account of Israel's sin, followed by God turning them over into the hand of an oppressor. The people cry out to the Lord, which I take as a formula for repentance. Then God sending a judge who is a spirit-endowed deliverer who then effects the delivery of Israel from that oppressor and introducing a period of peace. But then soon you're back on the cycle again. Israel sins again. And it's like going around in circles, though it's actually much, much worse, because as you move from those early judges like Othniel, Ehud, Deborah, to Jephthah, and especially Samson, who is himself so morally problematic, you're actually in a kind of death spiral. Now, in the appendix to the book of Judges, where you get two more stories, these aren't on the same kind of pattern as the story of the Judges, but rather they're the story of dysfunctional families, which lead to a story of a dysfunctional nation. You get this recurrent refrain, which is, everyone did what was right in their own eyes. There was no king in Israel. So you see, the book of Judges is suggesting that the solution to the problem of the judges, this political fragmentation, moral depravity, and spiritual confusion, is to be found with a king. So it's extremely likely that the book of Judges, though I'm sure, you know, reflecting stories that are passed down from the period of Judges, was probably first written during the early monarchy as a kind of apologetic for the monarchy, which was indeed a divinely instituted, thing, that God wanted a king to rule over Israel. But as we know from the story of the kings, while there was some improvement with people like David and the early Solomon, Hezekiah, and Josiah, that kingship itself wasn't the final answer either. And so even the institution of human kingship makes you yearn for something even better. And of course, the New Testament's answer to the something better is Jesus Christ, who is the fulfillment of the Davidic covenant of kingship.